I'm Macy Eglund. It is decision day. In just a few hours, indicted Long Island Congressman George Santos could be kicked out of Congress. Virginia Huey is on Capitol Hill with the latest.
New Yorkers from Queens and Nassau counties deserve better than George Santos, a total fraud and a serial liar representing them in Congress.
A highly anticipated motion to expel Congressman George Santos from Congress got underway Thursday afternoon with a fiery debate.
Kicking out Mr. Santos is setting a very dangerous precedent. Never before has Congress expelled a member based on indictments.
Santos survived 2 previous expulsion votes, but this third attempt gained momentum after a blistering House Ethics Committee investigation released earlier this month found Santos spent campaign money for personal profit.
The findings of the committee were shocking.
Among the findings, Santos allegedly spent campaign donor funds on Botox treatments, luxury designer clothes, and trips to Atlantic City. The embattled congressman says he hasn't had his day in court yet and called the House ethics investigation slanderous.
It is a predetermined necessity for some members in this body to engage in this smear campaign to destroy me. I will not stand by quietly.
Earlier in the day, Santos held a press conference saying House members were bullying him as the expulsion vote loomed and warned that if a third effort to kick him out of Congress was successful, it would haunt House lawmakers in the future.
If the House wants to start different precedent and expel me, that is going to be the undoing of a lot of members of this body, because this will haunt them in the future, where mere allegations are sufficient to have members removed from office when duly elected by their people in their respective states and districts.
At the conclusion of the hour-long debate, Santos dared fellow House colleagues to expel him, setting up a dramatic vote that's scheduled to take place on Friday.
The people of the 3rd District of New York sent me here. If they want me out, they're going to have to go silence those people and take the hard vote.
In Washington, D.C., I'm Virginia Huey for NewsdayTV.
We have a team in D.C. covering today's vote. You can read the latest on Santos on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, the cost of abuse. Long Island school districts paying millions to settle old sexual abuse lawsuits, but it's really costing taxpayers.
The challenges, I think, are much larger than anybody could have imagined. Tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars across the state.
It could be a crippling cost for Long Island schools. Newsday's investigative team has found more than 200 sexual abuse cases filed under the Child Victims Act have been lodged against local school districts. The victims claiming they were abused by teachers, administrators, and staff decades ago. Because of the time frame, litigating the cases can be tricky, which is why many districts are choosing out-of-court settlements. Normally, insurance companies would cover the cost, but in most cases, the companies are no longer in business or can't be found.
Even if you do find your insurance company, oftentimes districts could find that they're woefully underinsured.
Ron Macera is with the Suffolk County School Superintendents Association. He's working to figure out how districts will handle these payments. A Newsday investigation found in the last year, districts have settled 37 lawsuits. Those settlements ranging from $5,000 to $8 million. Money that's likely coming out of your pocket. It's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of Long Islanders who are already paying some of the highest property taxes in the nation.
They should go after whoever did it, not the school districts.
I've got to bear that responsibility. I'm not happy about it.
In many of these cases, the people named as abusers are deceased. Those who aren't are often included as additional defendants. But under the Child Victims Act, accusers can also go after institutions, claiming school districts failed to protect them. And school officials say if a settlement is agreed on, there aren't many options when it comes to paying the price.
Something like this is so far out of your hands, you really don't have any other option but to pass that cost on to your taxpayers.
Districts are sometimes forced to borrow money, in some cases, millions of dollars. According to school officials, districts could be forced to cut educational programs, increase class sizes, or raise taxes. The State School Boards Association is lobbying state lawmakers to help provide funding, but so far the effort has failed in Albany. We spoke to a lawyer representing 7 people suing the Port Jefferson School District. They're calling for action and accountability.
The response from the school district so far has been not to take responsibility for what's happened to my clients. And I don't think it's enough to say, here's some money, go away.
The Port Jefferson School District has not said if it has enough insurance coverage for the claims.
Until they tell the truth and come forward and take responsibility, how can you trust that they're doing the right thing now?
This is the age of transparency. We're in a place where this is not something that you can or should hide from your community.
$28 million has already been paid out, and there are another 150 lawsuits still waiting in the wings, meaning 2024 could be another costly year for Long Island taxpayers. You can read more about our special investigation and see part 1 if you missed it on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A 4-year-old boy from Melville, injured in a crash in Brooklyn, has now died. The NYPD says Giovanni Quiles was a rear seat passenger in a pickup that hit an elevated train support pillar on Atlantic Avenue on November 7th. We're told he died from his injuries at the hospital on Tuesday. The driver of the pickup, a 16-year-old boy, is charged with endangering the welfare of a child, driving without a license, and having alcohol and cannabis in the car. Fighting resumes between Israel and Hamas after a week-long truce expired. Explosions and smoke could be seen over the Gaza Strip today. Israeli fighter jets hit Hamas targets in Gaza. During the ceasefire, Hamas and other militants in Gaza released more than 100 hostages in return for 240 Palestinians. Back here at home, it's the end of an era for Long Island news. After 26 years and 700 episodes, Doug Geed will end his run as host of News 12 Long Island's The East End this weekend.
I've gone through a lot of emotional ups and downs, like saying goodbye to both my career at News 12 and to the East End show. It's tough to say goodbye, but for this final show, it was just nice driving around. It was cold as can be, it was windy as can be, but I loved every minute of it. It's just a beautiful area, no place like it in the world, and my heart will always belong on the East End.
And no one like Doug Geed. We spoke with the 64-year-old as he filmed his final episode. Geed, one of the original News 12 team members, retired as an anchor in July after a 37-year run. The East End's most passionate booster admits he had his critics over the years.
For some of the locals, every once in a while I get a, sarcastic comment, oh, the guy that brought all the traffic out here, thanks a lot, Doug. And I see their point, I really do. I guess the flip side of that is, if you didn't have all these people coming out, these family farms that are barely hanging on, they'd be gone by now.
Well, the final segments include profiles on Rotkamp's Fox Hollow Farm in Baiting Hollow and Fink's Country Farm in Wading River. The last episode airs tomorrow and Sunday. Congratulations, Doug. It is beginning to look like Christmas in the nation's capital.
3, 2, 1.
There it is. President Joe Biden and the First Lady flipped the switch on the national Christmas tree on the south side of the White House last night. This year's tree, a 40-foot Norway spruce, is from West Virginia. And here on the island, it's Dickens Eve. Port Jeff Village is hosting a special holiday kickoff Residents' Night, which includes a festival of trees. It's ahead of the Charles Dickens Festival Saturday and Sunday. The streets of the village will be lined with residents volunteering in Dickens-era costumes as Dickens-era characters, of course. For more holiday happenings on Long Island, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Let's talk about your forecast as we get ready for that weekend. Warmer than it has been today for your Friday. Highs around 51 degrees, but we do have the return of some rain today. Tonight, we drop into the 40s for most of us. Tomorrow, though, your Saturday, highs in the mid-50s. Futurecast showing a few showers rolling in and some wet weather continuing this weekend as well. There's a look at that, but we'll show you your 7-day forecast as well in just a few minutes.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
A new flower shop has bloomed in Huntington. The once delivery-only flower business now has a brick-and-mortar store. Elisa DiStefano has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Hometown Flower Co. has a new home in Huntington.
It is so beautiful in here. I'm so happy to see your new space.
The blooming business, owned by Jacqueline Ritigliano, just opened its first brick and mortar on Main Street.
So we launched as Long Island's first flower truck in 2019. We needed a home base, first and foremost. We live in Huntington, so it was really important for us to be in our own hometown.
In the new store, you can stop in to grab a gift or make one yourself.
This is our DIY holiday bar, so anyone can come off the street. So let's jump in and actually make an ornament over here. You can grab some dried floral confetti. We could do a Christmas tree.
Ah, there we go.
Right in there. A little bit of snow. So just kind of like a fun little way to make something uniquely yours.
They also offer workshops.
We are creating our signature peace wreaths from scratch.
That's the final product. Yes. At this rate, I am lucky if I am done with mine by Christmas.
You know, just take
work in progress.
Time and relax.
And of course, you can order the dried flowers and flowers in a bag they've become famous for.
The big thing with us is that we only work with locally grown seasonal flowers. So during the warmer months, 100% of the flowers that we design with come from our Long Island farms. In the off season, like right now, we source from greenhouses. We just really want people to change their perspective and their relationship with flowers and really understand that there are people behind them, growing them, designing them. So with that in mind, we like to create really unique experiences that connect people to those kind of unique and unexpected flowers.
Elisa DiStefano, NewsdayTV.
You can read more about Hometown Flower Company on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
We are on a hunt for the best authentic pizza on the island. Erica Marcus has today's Feed Me TV.
What if I told you that some of Long Island's best pizza is on this industrial block in Farmingdale, right behind this unmarked door? Dom's Pizza is located inside the warehouse of Sapori del Vallo, an importer of Italian specialty goods. In 2019, Dominic and Carmine Biancamano moved their warehouse from Deer Park to this 1,200 square foot facility in Farmingdale. During the pandemic, they opened a small market for customers who couldn't find what they needed at the supermarket. Sapori del Vallo gets its name from the Biancamano's star product, fresh pasta imported from Campania. But they also sell dry pasta, olive oils, aged cheese, jarred items, and fresh mozzarella that they make here. A lot of those products wind up on the pizza. Dom's pizzaiolo is Raffaele Pacilio. He uses this wood-burning brick oven to make pies both traditional and inventive.
My favorite pizza is simple, just tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella, basil, and grated cheese. Just a regular margherita.
My favorite pie is also margherita. Frankly, if there were no other pizzas on earth, I'd be perfectly happy eating margherita pizza till I die. You know, it's got like the perfect proportion of tomato to mozzarella, and you can see it has this beautiful crust here. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's light, and it's airy, and it has a beautiful taste like really good bread. I also really like the rustica here, with porcini mushrooms and sausage and smoked mozzarella, all stuff that they sell here in the market. Absolutely fantastic. You gotta try some of this. In Farmingdale, This is Erica Marcus for Newsday TV.
I'm ready for a breakfast pizza. For more on the best pizza, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Long Island school districts paid millions to settle old sexual abuse lawsuits. Newsday investigates the damage done as the victims speak out on their emotional trauma.
I went through my entire life wondering, why me?
The cost of abuse. Get the full investigation at Newsday.com.
I'm Macy Eglin. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great Friday. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.